I'm sorry.
We have a
I
lot
did
of news
5
items
tonight.
today.
I did 5 tonight, but you'll notice that I've been blazing through them fairly quickly. So this is another hashtag not a drag queen moment.
Oh, damn it, this is the one I wanted to cover today.
Yeah, well, here we go.
I guess I'll be covering it twice. But before we get into the meat of this, can I say a bill this man recently sponsored?
Yep. No, we were definitely going to get into that.
Okay, cool. So he is one of 5. Maurice, thank you very much for resubscribing. So this man here, Justin Acorn, is one of 5.
Is that how you say that?
Look. All I'm
glad you said it first.
He's a Republican. I'm just going to assume that he's in favor of acorns because acorns give cops excuses to shoot minorities. So
it's a good deep cut right there.
But Justin Acorn here, this man. Somebody says, is this the anti-furry guy? No, even funnier. So have you ever been on Twitter or Facebook or anything and some Republican, you can just assume they're a Republican, who probably calls himself a centrist, has said, you just have Trump derangement syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You have TDS. You have Trump derangement syndrome. This man, and 4 other Congress people, but this man did introduce a bill that says that Trump derangement syndrome should be seen by all organizations as a true mental illness. It is SF 2589. I have it pulled up because this was one I wanted to cover.
Yeah, so they tried to legislate the fucking DSM. Like, no, you can't just make something a mental illness through legislation. But also, like, on the topic of Trump derangement syndrome, that's another one of those things where, like, Republicans really suck at naming things, or it's weird how, like, they can be so united in their messaging, but their messaging is just so stupid. Because, like, the deep state. When I first heard about the deep state, I actually, like, got kind of excited. Like, this actually sounds like something that is necessary. And there's like, oh, no, that's just some crazy conspiracy bullshit. Okay, well, back to reality. Same thing with Trump derangement syndrome. I thought that was, like, people who think that Trump can do no wrong. So no matter how obviously deranged the man is, there are people who want to suck his dick. So, like, that was the way I read it the first time I read it. And I was like, yeah, okay, that actually kind of makes sense. It was like, oh, wait a minute. You're saying that we have Trump derangement syndrome because we don't like the evil dictator.
Yes, and to be fair, like, this has been used by more than just Trump. Vosh's fans do the same thing, saying that, like, people who are mad at Vosh have Vosh derangement syndrome, and I'm familiar with this term being used in a lot of things, so I never really had an issue with how it's named, because, again, I'm used to this being used in a lot of different areas. But it is hilarious to me. It is so hilarious. Of the 5 authors of this bill, he was not just a fucking sponsor, he's one of the authors. Do you know how many words are in this bill? Do you know how many words are actually in this bill? Let me see here. Because from what I'm seeing here, you see here, long description. Senate Bill 2589 has no long description. Okay, interesting. I don't see any more than just Trump derangement syndrome addition to the definition of mental illness. Let's look at the actual thing here. So, this bill is 2.5 pages long. It took 5 Republicans together to write a bill that is 2.5 pages long. An assignment that every single one of you has crunched.
I love the poorly educated.
Every single one of you in chat, I promise you, has had to crunch out a 2.5 page assignment in, like, the 7th fucking grade the night before you went into a you went in to do a test, or you went in to turn in homework. You've crunched this shit out on your own.
I consider my scripts to be short when it gets to 5, when it's only 5 pages. The scripts for my videos.
Speaking of scripts for videos, I finally found out. So Cherry has not been able to edit my video essay, but I did end up getting Raj to agree to edit the video essay. Thankfully, I knew multiple editors who were all capable of doing this, so I'm just paying Raj to take care of the video essay while Cherry's taking care of regular episodes. Just wanted to let everybody know that project did not go on the chopping block. That project has been moved to a different editor as of literally 3 days ago. But, yeah, looking at the actual bill...
Okay, speaking of video essays, though, can we just... I might die if I don't get this out here, but can we just take one moment to say that this guy looks like...
He looks like a pedophile.
He looks like H-Bomber guy on meth.
Meth? Not even one? Wait,
Yes.
Hold on. Can somebody make that picture where it's H-Bomber guy? It's got to be when he's got hair, because he doesn't have hair anymore, but it has to be from when he had hair. And then...
Get his whole...
And then a picture
whole...
of Justin Acorn, and just meth. Not even once.
Yeah. That was what I thought when I pulled it open. It was like, oh, that is like an ugly H-Bomber guy. Like, kind of methy. But yeah, so Senator Justin Acorn. Really got to get better representation from Justins out there.
Reading the bill says that an adult with acute mental illness means the adult who has the mental illness is in serious... Oh, this is actually really bad. Means that an adult who has a mental illness that is serious enough to require prompt intervention. So he wants to be able to label people as having Trump derangement syndrome, and that this requires intervention from a professional, not just a, haha, we can point fingers at something.
What are the diagnostic criteria?
Let's see here.
Did they even think to set that out?
Mental illness means Trump derangement syndrome or an organic disorder of the brain or a clinically significant disorder.
No. Not the definition of a mental illness. What are the diagnostic criteria for this specific?
Yeah, I'm trying to find where
illness?
I'm trying to find where in this bill that it is. Here we go. Let's see here. Okay, for the purposes of case management and community services, a person with serious and persistent mental illness means a person who has a mental illness meets at least one of the following criteria. Is diagnosed with schizophrenia, indicant of impairment of functioning, has written opinion from a mental health professional. Okay, so this is just all the basic criteria we normally would use. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's in subsection 28. Trump derangement syndrome means the acute onset of paranoia in otherwise normal persons that is in reaction to the policies and presidencies of President Donald J. Trump. Symptoms include Trump-induced general hysteria, which produces an inability to distinguish between legitimate policy differences and signs of psychotic pathology in President Trump's behavior. This may be expressed by verbal expressions of intense hostility towards President Donald J. Trump. So just saying bad things about the president is one of the diagnosing criteria. Overt acts of aggression and violence against anybody supporting President Trump doesn't actually give a definition on what overt acts of aggression or violence would be here. And then it's got another subsection on mental illness again.
Oh, it's Lucid is pointing out that you keep saying Jonald.
Jonald Day Brumph. I don't know.
Something like that. And Lady Badash says hashtag yes all Justins.
Yeah, no, it even
got me where it hurts.
It even has the definition of Trump derangement syndrome in here twice. It's in here twice. It's not even actually 2.5 pages long. It's 2 pages long with repeating information, because it wants to amend the Minnesota statutes, and it wants to amend 2 Minnesota statutes by adding the exact same subdivision both. So this is actually just a 2-page assignment, not even 2.5 pages.
I don't mean to be that guy, but I think you mean statutes with a T.
Let's see here.
You don't amend statues, you amend statutes.
The tornado amended some statues. But
Yes,
yeah,
it did.
no, you're right. It is statutes. I don't know why I'm forgetting the T. Probably, you know what? I must be a low T individual. That must be the reason.
So the first time you said it, I just assumed you were like kind of slurring through it because you kind of mixed up Donald Trump's name a few times. And I get it, you're reading other people's words, so it's not how you would naturally talk. So it's like,
yeah.
I was being forgiving, but then you said it twice. I'm like, And I can't abide saying things wrong.
You can't abide saying things wrong?
No.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing GOP pedophiles Justin Acorn right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what the interesting thing here is that the GOP are actually calling for him to resign.
Good.
Like, they didn't do that with Gates.
I wonder
like-
why they didn't do it with Gates. I guess because with Gates, they were just like, it was only a 17-year-old. We've all fucked a 17-year-old.
Well, I mean, with him, it was a 16-year-old, so it's not that much different. However, so there was a similar scandal several years ago with Senator Jordan Rasmussen. And this guy was like, oh, we need Senator Rasmussen to resign because that is damaging the integrity of the Senate. And so that's this guy was calling for him to resign.
My
so,
guy, I think your pedophilia is damaging the integrity of the Senate.
I feel like he's going to resign because he's got the integrity that he said that other people should have.
You would have to.
Right? If he's not going to be a hypocrite.
You know, it's...
GOP really doesn't like hypocrisy, right?
You'd think that. You would really think that.
Asina Salan says Pedantic Rhino does a pedantic. You know what? I'm gonna come out and say it. So everybody who listen, I have referenced the Puzzle and Thunderstorm podcasts enough to, like, you guys know that I listen to them. Drives me fucking nuts when No Illusions, who is a self-described pedant who gets bothered by people getting little things that don't actually matter that much wrong, drives me fucking nuts every time he says across. There is no T on the end of the word across. It is not a crust. It is just a cross.
Yeah?
Oh, is that another one that you...
That was one.
Okay. Apparently, this goes back to our conversation a while ago about I seen it. I seen this. I seen that. And how she thought that was a Niagara or Ontario thing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, across was the other one that she couldn't think of. And the fact that Noah does it and he's from Georgia means that it's probably not specific to my region.
Fair. Irregardless of that. I knew I'd get you with that one.
Fucking. So, fun fact, that wasn't actually a Bushism. That word has been around for longer than Bush. He's just the one that got it into the cultural zeitgeist.
Yep. So, for giggles, when somebody got really mad at me using that word in a video, I just went onto Google and found the definition and just went, that's weird that it's in the dictionary. Anyway, I come from the era where everybody told me ain't isn't a word, and then for half of my life it's been in the dictionary.
Yeah.
It's weird. Words get made the fuck up. It's how words work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, turns out the random sounds that I make with my mouth hole have no inherent meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, that's it for news. Only 5 items today.
Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really could not do any of this without all of you. Those of you watching, and especially those of you who support me on Patreon. I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to thank all of you who do that, because with YouTube being what it is these days, I really cannot do this full-time without the support from each and every one of you. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Tales of Atonement, Nixie Chan, Kiri Artemis, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Lil Ururaka, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fire Shard. Thank you so very much. But since you're here, why not go ahead and try watching another one? There should be one that's on the screen right now. And if you are a patron of mine, I wanted to go ahead and thank you again for all of your support. There is still a video you could press though, if you'd like. I would appreciate it just a little bit.